Egypt is hiding many historical mysteries under its beautiful sands. The pharaonic land is extremely intriguing. The areas once dominated by the ancient Egyptian civilization offer it all. Ancient history, fables, tales, and spectacular architecture dating to a period before civilization was written down. As we researched Egypt, we realized we were looking at one of antiquity's oldest, most complex, and most sophisticated cultures. Even though ancient Egypt is long gone, archaeologists are still unearthing its riches. Some of Egypt's biggest archaeological finds have astounded scholars, including the enormous Pyramid of Giza, the Sphinx, and long-lost underground towns. But what have they found? Thus, watch the entire video to find out the precise answer. According to researchers, the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, one of the 7 great wonders of ancient civilization and a stunning example of creative genius, contains a concealed vacuum at least 100 feet long. The room's measurements are comparable to those of the long gallery of the pyramid. The 153-foot-long, 26-foot-tall passageway that leads to Khufu's burial chamber, the tomb of the pharaoh for whom the pyramid structure was constructed. The contents of the space, its function, and whether there is one or many of them are all still unknown. Recent developments in extremely energetic particle physics have made it feasible to detect the absence of the 4,500-year-old pyramid's largest inner component for the first time since the 1800s. Egyptologist and historian Yukinori Koei, the latest National Geographic emerging explorer, said, "This is unquestionably the greatest find of the century." There may have been numerous theories concerning the pyramid, but nobody has ever even dared to speculate that such a big vacuum exists over the top of the Grand Gallery. The discoveries are the most recent in a 2,000-year effort to comprehend the enormous Pyramid of Giza, a subject of mystery and curiosity for centuries. According to a University of Cambridge historian who specializes in ancient Egypt, Kate Spence said, "These kinds of pyramids are the primary legacy, so to speak, of the monarchs who constructed them. It seems like Egyptian society is very much focused on constructing pyramids right now. Even then, people have been intrigued about the Great Pyramid. Nowadays, visitors enter the structure through a passageway built in the 9th century BC. The National Geographic Society has assisted in 2 pyramid investigations. One occurred in 2002 and focused on the air shafts that protruded from one of the 3 compartments. The latest find was made in the Scan Pyramids Project, a worldwide expedition run by Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities. The initiative, which was started in October 2015, aims to use a variety of technology to look inside Egypt's biggest pyramids without entering them. It wasn't entirely surprising when Skin Pyramids revealed a few fascinating voids and abnormalities earlier. Spence claims that the inside of the pyramids is significantly more pitted and strewn with debris than is typically thought. The new vacuum, however, came as a complete surprise, and may be the most important finding yet made by muon radiation therapy, a form of imaging first used to study the ancient pyramids of Giza. Chris Morris, a particle physicist at Los Alamos National Laboratory and an authority on muon techniques for imaging, calls what he has found a striking revelation. "I'm envious because this gets another muon radiographer envious. These guys have made a fantastic discovery. Using this method, it is possible to see past cathedral walls, Mayan pyramids, and occasionally volcanoes. The method depends on the muons that naturally fall to the ground." Astronomical rays, particles with tremendous energy speeding through our Milky Way, constantly shower Earth with such particles when they clash with the planet's upper atmosphere. Muons are invisible to the human eye, but scientists can detect them using specialized films and sensors that follow their 3D journeys. Multiple muon sensors placed inside and outside an object allow researchers to map the framework's solid and empty areas, because muons go through empty areas more readily than solid materials. According to the University of Texas at Austin physicist Roy Schwitters, who employs muons to analyze Belize's Mayan pyramids, what's wonderful is that they resemble Goldilocks. They shed sufficient power to identify them, yet not sufficiently that they are simply consumed in the target. They truly are a wonderful treat from nature. In the instance of the Great Pyramid, a group headed by Kunihiro Morishima, a physicist at Nagoya University, installed muon sensors inside the structure beginning in December 2015, allowing them to gather data for decades. The first findings from Morishima were released in March 2016, and to the researchers' astonishment, they revealed that an area deep inside the pyramid allowed many more muons to pass through compared to what they had anticipated. These excess muons appeared to trace a 100-foot-long hollow with a grand gallery-like cross-sectional area. From August 2016 through July 2017, two more groups from the French Atomic Energy Commission, CEA, and the Japanese Particle Physics Research Organization, KEK, collaborated to verify Morishima's findings. Each team employed various methods to locate muons. There is less than a 1 in a million chance that every sample was a coincidence, because the investigators observed an explanation for the emptiness in each experiment that attained at least a 5 sigma measure of statistically significant. The same standard of proof is needed to confirm the existence of novel subatomic elements like the Higgs boson. The area that appears empty, which the investigators call the void, is at least 100 feet long. Experts are careful when using the phrase chamber because its role is still unknown. Mehdi Tayyoubi, chairman and founder of the Heritage Innovation Presenting HIP Center and study co-author, stated in an interview that we don't know for the moment if it's straight or tilted, or if it is constructed from a single structure or many successive constructions. What is certain is that the emptiness exists, that it is remarkable, and that nothing could have predicted it. Although Tayyoubi and his co-workers are adamant that they do not understand the vacuum, Egyptian scholars have already begun speculating on what it could be. Spence, a Cambridge archaeologist, speculates that the space might be a building byproduct of the Great Pyramid. She reminds out that the topmost layer of the rooms above the king's chamber, which is the main chamber where Khufu was buried, is made up of enormous blocks that each weigh tens of tons. Spence hypothesizes that the whole might have been an interior ramp utilized to get the enormous roof blocks into position, since it matches up with the Great Pyramid's upper courtroom, which was added there to release pressure on the king's chamber underneath. She claims this ramp may have been left unfilled or loosely backfilled as work progressed. According to Spence, this view is particularly likely because of the void's location. It needs to be more strategically located to place barriers there. The Grand Hall is situated above the void, which Egyptologist Salima Ikram believes may indicate that it was involved in building that corridor. She cynically advises, though, to be skeptical of recent interpretations. She adds, "I don't believe it's ever inappropriate to make assumptions, but you could be wildly off." We'll have to wait and see if these or other theories about the void's function come true. And a warning to anyone who fantasizes about going into the abyss. Researchers caution that there are no future intentions to dig into the vacuum because no known tunnels connect to the abyss. Instead, they assert that they will try to observe the area without interfering with it in the foreseeable future. Ikram said there are a lot of hefty, thick stones, and you need to figure out how drilling something will influence the whole thing. Would you want to clean the Mona Lisa so you can see what's behind her if there is something there? Maintaining the monument's integrity is crucial. That was all from our side. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more interesting content.